Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly dev stream. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Saturday. It is very cold on the west coast, and actually I think it's just cold everywhere. So I hope everyone is staying warm. I'm excited to play some Super Dungeon Designer today. We've got some really good updates to share. It's going to be a really fun stream. So we'll get into that in just a little bit here. Do some big time bug testing. We got lots of bugs, so that'll be fun. And yeah, should be a good stream. We've got some updates for our Kickstarters. Hopefully, if you're a Kickstarter backer, you saw the update. If you backed at the sticker and pin tier, those finally came in. So a little hard to see because there's a lot of green on here, but I guess just the slime. It's a little invisible. But yeah, these came out really good. Really excited to start sending these out really soon. We got stickers. Hey Thomas. And we've also got pins, and be happy with the pins. They're like acrylic. Got the bat there. I really like how the ghosts, how Spoople and Died came out. They're kind of together. See if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. Pretty cool. We got the warthog. Yeah, it's not gonna focus, but you get the idea. We got the warthog. We've got the lizard, Lizark. And Lynette in an action pose. Very cool for a pin. So you could put your Lynette pin shooting a bow and arrow right next to your Lizark if you want. You know, have some fun. Pins are cool. They're here. These will be shipped out to anybody that backed at those tiers. I'm going to try and get everything together this weekend. So they're on the way. Hooray! Yeah, we've got some exciting updates today. We first are going to show off the ability to restart from checkpoint. That is finally in the game. So got some testing there. And then another really big one, we have the in-game shop. That is in the game, so you can now spend your gold. And when you are setting up your dungeon, you can place down the in-game shop, and then place down items on the shopkeeper's rug, and specify how much gold that that those items cost. Yeah, it's in the development branch, so you can't. James can, yeah. So we're gonna do a bunch of bug testing today, and there's still some features of it that we're working on finishing up. So probably be a couple weeks here before it's pushed out. But yeah, soon to come. Exciting stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead, we'll jump in and let's do some testing on the checkpoint first. And then we'll jump in and play around with the shop a bunch, because I think we have a bit more bug testing to do with the shop than the checkpoint. So hey Sanjay, hope you're staying warm. Thanks for swinging by just in time to check out the restart from checkpoint that you implemented. I'm going to do some testing. And this is also hot off the presses, so it could be some bugs we find with this. We'll play around and see. But if you go to the menu, you'll see there's a new option for restart from checkpoint. And it's going to be grayed out until you actually get a checkpoint. My parents lost power during the storm, so they came over to stay at my place. Nice. Yeah, it is so cold out. Just everywhere. And there's now a pop-up too. Awesome. I actually didn't know you got this in already. So when you hit restart dungeon or restart from checkpoint, you're going to get a pop-up that warns you that you're going to lose all your progress for the dungeon. So very handy. Should probably add it for... Well, I guess back to build doesn't really matter because back to build is like you're still building and testing the dungeon. So you're not really losing progress, right? You kind of are, but... Okay, so if we grab a checkpoint here, the option for restart from checkpoint is here. I'm going to hit restart dungeon though. Okay, so we restart where we should. That's good. Grab the checkpoint. We will restart from checkpoint. Sure you want to reset all players to their last checkpoint. So yeah, it essentially just kills you, and that's on purpose. The way we want it to work is, right, we have lives in the game, right? You can get like the life trophies. And we actually have all the functionality in for lives. We just removed it for just playing through normal dungeons because we just want those to be where you can play through them. But we're going to have a mode where lives matter. So if you hit restart from checkpoint, it's going to remove a life from your life pool. So that way you can't just cheese the dungeon and keep going back to the checkpoint and doing stuff. There's going to be a punishment to that in those modes where it matters. So. The build warning comes up if you try to go to build from a regular playthrough, not a playtest. Okay, nice. Or while doing an upload. Okay, yeah, that's good. So restart from checkpoint won't undo dungeon progress. Right. Yeah, it won't undo dungeon progress. So if restarting from checkpoint does somehow end up soft locking you or whatever, you're still going to need to restart the dungeon. Yeah, it's not going to undo any of the progress you've done. And we'll test that too. Yeah, pretty handy. So let's say that I grab this checkpoint, and then I come in this room, and I'm doing some puzzles, and I accidentally block the door, and now I can't get back. And I go, shoot! I'm soft locked. I have to restart the whole dungeon? No, I don't, because I can restart from checkpoint. And I'm good to go. So it should be helpful. Yeah, any links or anything you trigger are going to stay triggered. And then the other interesting problem that we had to solve was, how does this work for multiplayer? So for multiplayer, what we decided is, right, you still can't restart from checkpoint until any single player has gotten a checkpoint. So once any single player has a checkpoint, you can hit restart from checkpoint, and it's going to restart all 4 players from their last checkpoint. And that's what this warning's for. Are you sure you want to reset all players to their last checkpoint? So that way it's communicated to the player that, hey, this is going to happen. Kills all 4 of you. So you gotta communicate if you really want to restart from checkpoint. It's going to affect all 4 players. Oh yeah, player 3 has this one. Cool, seems to be working good. Interesting. Player 3 restarted on the tile next to the checkpoint. Wonder why that happened. Oh, now player 1 restarted on the tile next to the checkpoint. Huh. Maybe it like tried to spawn in too many players on the same tile and pushed one out or something. Like it considered it not a safe tile. Be my guess. So if we have all 3 players go up here and then we restart, will one of them spawn here? No, it's always next to it. Okay. Huh. Well, that's a bit of a bug for sure. Yeah, because if you restart dungeon, they have no problem spawning in on the same tile. Interesting. Seems to only be when you have 3 players or more. Oh wow, no, it just respawned all 4 of them next to the checkpoint. Huh, that's pretty funny. It's just killing them, so it might be an existing bug. Okay. I don't think we've ever had anything kill 4 players in the same frame. Oh, that's a good point, yeah. So yeah, it looks like maybe we need a little delay between each player dying or something. Conga line in the tile, yeah. Cool. I'll make a note on the card for this one. Alright, restart from checkpoint. Oh, Trello's making me log in. What the heck? Grabbing a checkpoint. Players will sometimes spot next to the checkpoint. Okay. So what if these tiles are not safe? So we all have the checkpoint. Okay, so it worked that time when there weren't any safe tiles to go to. Very interesting. But yeah, minor bug aside, very cool to see this finally in the game. I think this is going to make a big difference for helping prevent soft locks and things. And even just an interesting way to like navigate back to an area if you really want. We were hesitant for a while to put a feature like this into the game because what we don't want is for designers to kind of design the dungeon around using this as like a way to teleport back. But I think the benefits outweigh the negatives. Like being able to respawn from a checkpoint is just a really nice quality of life thing. So overall, we think it's going to be a worthwhile enhancement to have in the game. Let's just play through a quick dungeon real quick and an existing one, and we'll make sure that respawning from checkpoint works well. Turn on my controller here. And then we're going to jump in and play around with the shop. Let's see. Could do Buried Delves. I'll just do Buried Delves because I know that one like the back of my hand. And there's at least 2 checkpoints, I think. So there's a checkpoint up here. This one. Yeah. Okay. So come in here. From checkpoints. Yes. Somewhat concerned about that this could affect dungeons with split paths. Instead of making the way back, the player could cheese it by just restarting the checkpoint. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we need a variant of the checkpoint that is a checkpoint tile that can't be restarted from. Or unless that sounds too chaotic. But like we could have like a different, like maybe it's a different shade or something, and it's just like a checkpoint tile, but like you can't, like it ignores the restart from checkpoint. That way the designer could kind of choose. So yeah, like in here, for example, it's a power struggle between designer and player. Yeah, like there's not going to be a right way to do this. Yeah, I think a variant of the checkpoint tile might be nice. Like just something so that the designer has an option. Because like here, for example, like I'm supposed to be locked in this room and I can't get out until I use the torches, right, to light all these. But I can just go, okay, I'm just going to restart from checkpoint. Now I don't have to worry about getting out of this room. I'm I'm just good to go. So, yeah, definitely some gameplay ramifications with this. That we'll take into account, and we'll figure out something. You're supposed to get a key in that room, now you're screwed. Yeah, right. Yeah, there's some scenarios where it creates as many soft locks as it solves, so it's almost not solving any issues, you know? So, yeah, we might need to think this one out a little more. Just add like a, either an option or a tile variant or something, so that you can have both functionalities of the checkpoint. But the functionality is there, and that's awesome, because we can work around this and figure out a really good solution. Oops. Yeah, I think the last thing we really want is for people to be like, I don't want to put down checkpoints now because I don't want to ruin my dungeon. The long-term fix for this would be to have checkpoints save the state of the dungeon, and at that point, a dying/restarting would reset the dungeon to that state. Yeah, so actually be like restart. Yeah. Yeah, I think actually the term restart from checkpoint is misleading. It should probably just say like warp to checkpoint for what we're doing right now. It should just say die, yeah. Kill player. That is technically what it is doing. And that was kind of our thing. It's like you could do that anyway, right? Like I could, you know, in this room, I could just die right here. And that's the same thing as just hitting this button. So, you know, being able to go back to a checkpoint is always kind of a feature anyway. Unless you're in a room where you somehow can't manage to take damage. So that was kind of the main reason why we were like, yeah, this is okay. So, right, it was up to the designer to give the player a way to restart from the checkpoint. This is moving that power into the player's hands. Yeah. Oh, you know what I want to know? What happens if I'm in a pit when I restart from checkpoint? Oh, you get a little double zoop. We do it like right away. That's funny. That's fine. Like, what if I'm dying? Fine, although we'll want to test that when we actually have a mode with lives in the game to make sure it's not like double removing a life. Because it probably is. Okay. What other action would it be really bad to die in the middle of? Maybe teleporting? Oh, okay, yeah, that one actually... I was stuck running in place. Huh. Oh, no, wait. No, it wasn't. I was... Wait. Try that again. Okay, yeah, so I'm stuck running in place here. So I think what we need to do is disable restart from checkpoint if you're like teleporting or something. Yeah, let me make a note of that. Does that happen if you just restart dungeon? Maybe I've never noticed. Yeah, no, it wouldn't because it's totally reloading everything, so never mind. All good there. The state thing is probably the best way to go. Honestly, warping is just too powerful to give to the players. Yeah, that's true. But saving the state of the dungeon is a huge task. Yeah. So this might be one we put on the back burner just for a little bit. I think this was one we really needed to kind of test out before we really better understood the ramifications. But... we'll put a little more thought into this and get something out there. Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, you can't edit a dungeon when you're playing it. What if I go to my dungeons? Nope. Did not get the warning. Okay. Yeah, that was a downloaded one. Yeah, we should have the warning everywhere, I think. Okay. But if I play it from here... oh, yeah. Okay. So if I... yeah, we probably do want to set that to my dungeons and browse dungeons. Just some kind of warning would be a good idea. Yeah, if I play a dungeon from here, and then go to edit, I get the warning. Are you sure you want to return to the game? Cool. Make a card for this? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. If Thomas agrees. Yeah, if you want to put just like some preliminary details on there, I can help you flesh it out too. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm excited to see it in there, and we'll figure out the best way to do that. So, to be continued. I'm glad we got to see it in action and play around with it. All right, so another exciting update we have today. The in-game shop is here. So you'll see under items here, and we're still not, oops, it's actually labeled as a decoration by accident. Whoops. But this one, we still need to update the tooltip. I haven't put anything on there. So it has the tooltip from the sign. So that's something I got to do. But it's in the items menu for now. We're not sure if this is the best place for it because it's not an item, but it contains items. So we have this kind of weird object that doesn't function like anything else in the items menu so I don't know, we might end up moving this out into the objects menu, but for now we have it here because it makes sense. This only uses items, so we have it here. This is Scout. You may recognize Scout from our tutorial. Scout, this feature has been, we've had the art done for this since 3 years ago, I want to say. Let me check, actually. I'm really curious. Arts, materials, objects, shop. Yeah, 2021. March of 2021. So yeah, been the art's been ready for like 3 years. We've been waiting a while to get Scout in here. Really excited to finally see him come to life because he's been such a big character that's kind of been in the backlog, and you know, we brought him in for the tutorial, but the intention was always that Scout would run a shop. And you can see him here in all his glory. And we're still working out some bugs. So for example, trying to move him, we had a bug for a while. It was in the main game where, you know, any object that has multiple tiles, you couldn't like move it on top of an existing tile. So we're working on that. But yeah, so rub it in. What was I rubbing in? I didn't mean to. So Scout is, oh, the 3 years thing. Sorry. No, it's just, I was just trying to emphasize the fact that it's very exciting to have him in the game because he's been a long time coming. That's all I meant. But yeah, you can now set items for sale, and you will use gold to purchase those items. So previously, gold was really just a collectible. You know, you saw at the end of the dungeon how much gold you had, but there was no way to spend it. So now you have a way to spend your gold that you're finding in the dungeon, which is really exciting. Scout also functions as a text box. You can have him say stuff like, you know, buy something, will ya? And yeah, you can edit the values here. Goes up by 5s, or you can type it in. So that's how much each item is going to cost. And then you can place the items down. And again, a lot of this is still in development, like the font sizes, the spacing, like little things like that we're still working on. Some of the UI. But yeah, just want to get some good testing in while we keep working on this feature. So you can place anything down that you want to sell. And you could do stacks of things. And yeah, like these numbers won't overlap when we have this fully implemented. Okay. Maybe we've got a stack of 100 gold here. And we'll put that up here. So only 200 gold, and then we'll put cracked blocks over here. With switches to lower these spikes. Actually, no. We'll make this simple. Just spawn in a chest. 500 gold. All right. Let's test them out. He's got a little animation. Look at that. He's bobbing. I'm so excited to see Scout in the game. This is awesome. Buy something, will you? So when you get close, it's going to display his text box. And also show you the little gold symbol and the values for how much something costs. Ah, shoot. I did not mean to aggro the bat. Okay, very cool. And if I get this bat, all right, I'm just restarting. Okay, if you go up here, you'll see a little bauble with gold that tells you, hey, you need money to buy that. And if I try to buy it, if I hit E, you'll see Scout's head shake. Like, no, you can't buy that. What are you doing? He's like, nuh-uh. So then if I get 100 gold, you'll see there's an E now over the sword, which means I can buy it. I can't buy these. But now I bought the sword, and you'll see my gold went down to 0. I have the sword. Can't hurt Scout. That's by design. Leave him alone. Can you link the Scout or the Scout's items? And if so, what's its effect? Yes, you can link to Scout. It will show his text box. You can also link to the items on here, and it will spawn them in for sale. So we'll play around with that a little bit here too. You can also link from the items to spawn in other things, which is really cool because maybe you want to make the player pay to get like a pushable block. You could do that by, you know, just putting a random thing for sale here and linking to a pushable block, which is kind of cool. So, but we'll play around with that after these simple tests here. No linking to Scout? Oh, okay. So we didn't do linking to Scout. No pushable block only. Oh, you can't link from the items to other stuff. It's only other items. Interesting. Okay, we'll play around with that a little bit. All right, we're going to kill the bat. That should give us 200 gold. Oh, I thought you meant buying a pushable block. Oh yeah, no, I just meant like linking from it. You could like link in something. So like you could put something for sale that's just like whatever, and then have it spawn in like a block or something cool. And link from other items to other things like bombs. Nice. Can even link from one purchasable item to another. Oh yeah, that's another cool thing. So I could have linked that sword to the bomb, so the bomb won't appear until I buy the sword, and so on. So it's pretty robust. I like the way the linking for it. Okay, so we've got bombs now. And I love that when you buy something, he hops up and down. He's got a little animation like he's excited. Very cool. All right, now we've got 500 gold. We can buy the key. Get ready. He's going to hop up and down. Yeah. The only time you get to see his eyes when you buy something. Okay, so the next thing I want to test here is what happens on the level complete screen with your gold total. Because it should show how much you had. His text box goes away when his items are gone. Oh yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I think that's good. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So yeah, so it did track my gold, even though I used it, which is good. That's what we want. Yep, you did the gold right. That's good. Cool. This is so awesome to see in the game. Okay. So yeah, so the linking. You didn't touch that with the shop changes. Nice. So the game just worked. That's good. So yeah, the linking, we could do something like, you know, let's put another switch down here. I guess we'll want two switches, right? And we'll have pushable block that spawns in when you get the bombs. So now when you buy the bombs, it's going to spawn in this block. And we'll make it so that when you buy the sword, the bombs spawn in. And when you buy the key, we'll have when you buy the key, a room full of warthogs. There you go. And then I'm curious how these work with grouping. We'll test out grouping next with these and groups. I would assume it just works. Probably like, you know, if you add one of these into a group, then you just need to buy it in order to trigger the whole group. But we'll play around and make sure that works. Yeah. I gotta believe it just works. Seems like it would. We'll try it out. Okay, so you'll see the bomb is not here because I need to buy the sword to spawn it in. Something little. So I bought the sword, which made the bombs appear. Now the bombs are for sale. Gonna kill the bat. 200 gold. So buying this should spawn in the block. Nice. Looks like some clipping there. Just a tiny bit of clipping. Oh, that's intentional. Okay. Interesting. It's like over the block here and then under the block here. Huh. Okay. Weird one. So then I gotta use the bombs here. So let me push this off for a second. Intentional. It's not broken. LOL. So I need this pushable block. Spawn in the chest. Gold to buy the key. Gonna get him out of here. Get away from my door. There we go. Okay, cool. Before we get into grouping, I want to play around with the grouping. Let's just check while it's still fresh on my mind. Let's check how well Scout does with clipping and things. And yeah, that was the other thing. I wanted to try moving him around. Okay, so if you move him, the things that were on the carpet are no longer on the carpet. And you can't put gold for sale. That was intentional. Because that's just confusing if you can sell gold. Unlimited money scheme. So that seems to be working. Oh, interesting. Okay. I think this is a known bug if you try to move him over stuff. So I'll stop messing around with that. Yeah, you can see it got a little screwy there. Okay. I'm going to delete these because I want to play around with stuff clipping real quick. Okay. Honestly, that seems good. Just checking out the big stuff right now. Might be able to build the lime on the rug. Slime. Oh, okay. Really? Oh. You can buy enemies? Does that work? Oh, okay. I was gonna say. Interesting. Yeah, we should probably make them not placeable there because that's a little misleading. Makes you think you're selling them. Slime for sale. Torches look pretty cool next to him. Does make you wonder how his flag is not on fire, but you know what? He's got a fireproof sack. Have a whole monster catching minigame where you can buy slimes. That would be kind of fun. I think you mentioned that spawners work. Is that true? Like on here? Or is that not in yet? We were going to test if we like having spawners on there or not to like repurchase items, but I don't think we... Yeah, I don't think we have that working yet. Okay. What else would have clipping issues? Mostly decor would be the thing I'd want to look at. Spawners is a good idea. Yeah, we were talking about yeah, having spawners so that things could be repurchasable. So it would like spawn in every time you spend money on there. Okay, statues seem good. Yeah, he did a really good job with the clipping. I'm not seeing any issues here. Considering he's such a big boy. And this is kind of cool. You can actually hide what's for sale. Be like... something, will ya? I would, but I don't know what it is or how much it costs. You got a key. Yeah, kind of neat. If you're a designer, yeah, it gives you an option, a way to hide, you know, what's on there. Kind of cool. Yeah, flipping wise seems good. Okay. So yeah, I won't really test moving it around and stuff like that because I know you're still working on that. But let's see how grouping works. So let's say we have a heart here in a group with this key, and together they spawn in the next item. Okay, cool. Not there. So I'm gonna buy the key. Still not there. Get the heart. Nice. It works. Let's try it the other way. And the heart. Very cool. So yeah, you can put these in with grouping. So yeah, you can't link to Scout, which is probably fine. I wasn't imagining the text working this way. I was imagining it just acting like a signpost. But I kind of like that it displays when you're near him. I didn't think of that. That's cool. So yeah, let's say I swap this in, just make sure that it's actually purchasable. Okay, cool. Oh, you can move these. That's funny. Yeah, I think we talked about making these not frog grappleable. We did think of it, we just didn't do it. So now, what happens then? It says I can get a key. And then I get 2 keys. Nice. I think it, like, wait, what happened there? Okay. I have 1 key right now. I'm just going to, let me get this gold. I'm going to open this so I have 0 keys. Right? 0. Okay. I'm going to frog these over here. Okay, and there's 2 keys. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was good. I just got confused by that first key that was there. Okay. Interesting. So it disappeared. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to fix that. That does lead to some weird situations you could design. Picked it up, but yeah. Because, yeah, I don't know, you could be like, oh, I'm going to use that to weigh this down. I don't know. Yeah. It's an interesting one. Okay, what else? We've got... So swapping those worked. Let's say I swap those. Should work too. Nice. Love the animations. So good. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, so let's put down. So right now, and this is something that could change, but right now we are letting you put down multiple scouts. So you can have multiple shops in a single room. We're considering limiting it so that it's only one shop per room, but we're still figuring out the ramifications of that and if it's worth changing or not. But we usually try not to restrict the player or the designer if we can. Exactly, yeah. It's giving more freedom, right? It's like there's this give and take with the game where it's like, how much do we restrict when the designer could just choose to not do it that way, you know? So we try not to be restrictive when we can, but this is something we're still kind of talking about and seeing if it makes sense, because this is the first time that it's like it's borderlining on thematically weird, you know, because it's like, oh, there's more than one scout. So that's the issue. It's like, does it make sense, you know, to have more than one of the same character in a room? But we're still thinking about it. How does it feel setting the price on the purchase tile and not the item? Yeah, seems okay to me. I think it's very hard to not like hover over this, which is good. Like, yeah. Let's see, what else? So yeah, you can have multiple scouts as of right now. Again, we're looking into that. Yeah, let's say we had a bunch of arts for sale. And we grouped all those. Spawn a boss key or something. The first 6 are free, yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, honestly, I think it's fine. Like, if the designer wants to put more than one scout in a room, that's kind of on them. Iron Scouts clone. I'm not real. With the purchase tiles being linked to Scout, I guess it makes sense. Yeah. Okay, if you delete on anywhere, it's going to delete Scout. Okay, can't move big things on him. Yeah, we're looking into, I think, next, making sure you can't put objects on the carpets or whatever. Do we want to be able to open a chest with money? That would be kind of fun, because it's a way to hide an item, right? Like, yeah. Because then you wouldn't have to put a bookcase up, right? Just to hide an item. So, yeah, that would be kind of neat if you could put, like, chests, maybe pots and skulls, too. I guess technically that'd be a way to buy an enemy, because you could put enemies in chests. So it'd be kind of like a gamble, right? Like, hey, spend 50 gold or spend 100 gold, but could be a cool item you need, could be a Lizark. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. Obviously, something like a table wouldn't make sense. Yeah, I think chests, pots and skulls, spawners. Destructibles don't make sense to me. Yeah, agree. Yeah. Yeah, we could just do chests and spawners. What about stool? No, it's okay. You can link from it to spawn in a stool. You know me, I love stool. I just want stool to be included. But yeah, I don't think there's any kind of decor you would want to be able to buy. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think chests and spawners are the main thing. And the spawner, I think it would just be like the one-time spawner, right? Like it would spawn in something when you buy it and then turn itself off. That's tricky. Oh, you like the idea of either? Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's a good point. Yeah, so maybe you just have one that like gives you unlimited arrows, you know, when you buy it or whatever, unlimited hearts. Yeah, good point. Good point. And then that way we don't have to make a weird restriction where, like, if someone puts this and it doesn't work, they'd be like, wait, what the heck? You know? So. Or you purchase one heart and then you can purchase another. Yeah, yeah. Could be repurchasable items using spawners. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. So if you put a normal spawner on here, you could do that, or you could put the one-time spawner. So the way that the one-time spawner would work is if I purchased a bomb for 20 gold, it'll immediately close after I get that one bomb, and then I have to spend 20 gold again to get another bomb. Whereas if I spend 100 gold here on a bomb, it's gonna stay open, and I don't have to keep buying. I can just keep getting bombs, keep going back and forth. So we would let both things be possible. And I guess technically you could put enemies in these too, right? So I don't know why you would want to, but you could unlock it. Well, yeah, you could unlock like an enemy spawner so that you have access to a Lizark to like hit something with an arrow, or have access to a hop scorch to light a torch or something. So there's potential there. Yeah, I like the idea of using the spawners, both of them. That's cool. So chests, spawners. I think that's good. There's no indication to the player if it's going to be a one-time purchase, which is interesting. Oh, yeah. Buying a Warthog or Flame Enemy could be useful. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if we should indicate it to the player somehow. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. We can think about that. When you link from a spawner, you can link from a spawner, right? And it does stuff when you pick stuff up. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting because now you have a situation where you could like pay gold to have enemies spawn, right? And then now you can link from it. Yeah, you could like link from it to have, you know, another spawner. Have another, like a single-use spawner here that's giving you 100 gold. And now you've got to defeat so many slimes before you can buy the key, which is 1,000 gold. So now I've got to pay 10 gold to keep enabling the spawner to spawn in gold to buy a key. I don't know, you could do a lot of cool stuff. This is going to be really fun to play around with. Also not sure about the sequence of events there, if it spawns the thing in a dormant state until you buy it, or just doesn't spawn until you buy it. Oh, yeah. I guess that would be up to the player, right? They could use either type of spawner. If they use the open one, oh yeah, that is kind of weird, huh? I guess maybe we just wouldn't allow the open one to be placed. Maybe just only allow the closed one to be placed. It's a way around it. Or like maybe if you place an open one, it automatically switches to being a closed one. Something like that. Or I guess technically what you could do, yeah, we could just leave the functionality as is and you're paying to close it, right? So now, right, this is 100 gold. And right, it might be awkward like for an item, like you wouldn't want to pay to close it, but if you've got enemies coming out of here, you know, I could pay 100 gold, now it's closed. So I think it's fine. Yeah, just, and then that way that preserves the functionality of the item. So I think it's cool. You pay to effectively fire a link to it. Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of what, like, it feels like you're doing when you buy something, right? Because, like, an item spawns in, right, when you pay for it. So if it spawned the item and you'd have to pay to buy the item, that way you know what it spawns. Yeah, that's true too. So if it like just showed the item on here. But you can't pick it up until you pay. Yeah, I think you're right. There's more design needed. We'll think about this. I think we're kind of in agreement that we should do it. We'll just make sure we do it right. There's definitely a couple ways to go about that. Let's see, what else? This is so cool. So many possibilities here. We want to allow non-purchasable items on the store rug. I would... That's tricky because it's like... I don't want to restrict that, but also I think it would be confusing to the designer because the designer is going to think that this is for sale. They're going to think that if I pay 100, I get this item instead of, oh, I need to push this off of here or whatever. But then at the same time, it's nice for the designer to have something like this where, you know, you can only see one item for sale or whatever. Some weird layering with the spawners. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think can't think of a good reason why you would want something on the rug. My gut is to say that no, you shouldn't be able to put stuff on the rug because there's really no major advantage. I mean, well, I guess you could gate the player off in certain circumstances. I'm leaning towards restrict placement of non-purchasable on the rug. Yeah, let's go with that for now, and also because I would rather put restrictions in place and then remove them later rather than us change our mind and then have to restrict it. So that sounds good to me, if you're good with that. Yeah, I think the value of it being more intuitive for the designer makes it worth it to restrict that. Because yeah, it could be confusing if you think you're buying a block or you're buying a whatever. And then that way when they do put the chest down and they see that it goes there, they'll be like, oh cool, you can buy the chest. Can't buy a stool, but you could buy like the chest. That's neat. What else? Can't group him, right? Good. I think being able to move him to other rooms was something we were looking at, right? Cool. That works. Just playing around here. Yeah, I do like the spawners. It's going to be really cool to see like a situation like this where you can now actually make it so that you have to defeat so many enemies from a spawner before you can open a door. There wasn't a super easy way to do that before, so this kind of enables that, which is neat. I mean, this doesn't even have to be on here. It could just be like this. Now it's like, I get 100 gold every time I beat an enemy here, and then I need 1,000 gold to buy this key. So the only way to get through this door is by killing these enemies. Okay, 300. And we don't even have to pick it all up at once, it'll accumulate. 200. What am I at? 800? Okay, 2 more. Okay, so now I've got 1,000. Now I can buy the key. You've created a job simulator. Oh no! What have we done? You're right. We could even create a neat mini game where it's like you know, defeat as many enemies as you can. You know, and then have like a shop in this room. It's got like, you know, an arrow if you only got 10 gold, or if you only got 100, or a new heart if you manage to get 1,000, or you can get the map for 500. And then we use a timer orb. Yeah, we go like that. And then we actually want things to be closed. And we'll say you have like 10 seconds, kill as many enemies as you can. I think if we just do only fire once, right, this will... Oh, wait. Will that work? Will this turn those back off after 10 seconds and then not work again? Let's find out. I'm curious. I don't think we ever tested that. Let's... Yeah, I don't know if it works. Let's find out. Does not. Okay, interesting. So yeah, it only fires the first link when you do only fire once. which I guess makes sense. Oh yeah, yeah, I'll just do that. Or just like, I'll just hide it right here. Interesting. Okay. Now I got 10 seconds, kill as many enemies as I can. Yeah, I turned off Lonely Fire once. Alright, looks like I got 700 gold, and I forgot to give myself a key, so that's awesome. Yeah, the shop opens up a lot of cool potential like this. It's really awesome. Okay, so I did a little better that time. We got 900 gold. The scout's all like, how did you do? Just missed getting the heart piece. That's alright, I'll settle for the map and an arrow. Yeah, pretty neat, making little mini games like that. Or, you know, maybe there's maybe it's like this, and then this is actually a 1-up trophy. Yeah, I would want to balance the mini game a little better, so you could actually like potentially get all 3 of these, right? Something like that. Yeah, this is awesome. Trying to think what else we could test here. I was kind of expecting more stuff to be broken. This is working pretty good. It's a little weird. I can like try to put a... Huh. Yeah, it's weird. You could put walls down, but not doors. Yeah. Can I put a door down now? Yeah, I can. Kind of interesting to have Scout there without the carpet. Like, I guess that's fine. You know, if someone wants to do it that way. But probably should just restrict being able to put that stuff down. Oh, and now these are pits. That's cool. Fall through the carpet. What's for sale? You are. Ah, okay, so you can put him over missing tiles. That's why. Oh, it deleted the purchasable tiles. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. Can't put doors now. Huh. So it's only when you're trying to like replace an item. He doesn't mind. It's okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's only when you try to replace an item that it acts up a little. Okay. Yeah, I can't even put walls down. Okay. So it was just being goofy. Alright, so let's make sure. I should be able to move room, right? He moves around. Make sure his items for sale move around. Okay, cool. Kind of fun to be like, you need to purchase the end level tile. Oops. 5,000 gold. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to test. What happens if I try to buy something and like I have full hearts, for example. Okay, so this was intentional. This is how we wanted it to be designed. So if you buy something but you aren't able to pick it up, it'll remove the price. So now this is here, so if I take damage, I can pick this up, but it's going to trigger the links too that it's linked to. So don't lower the gold amount, place 5,000 gold down. Yeah, that was a solution to the problem. Yeah, cool to see that working. That's awesome. So let me just make sure that heart can be picked up. I'm sure it can. Nice. Pretty cool. So yeah, I think hearts are a cool way to like trigger something else. Same with like trophies, right? Like this could just be a trophy. Yeah, when I pick it up, we'll lower that. Let's make sure it works for other things. So like, let's say I'm already full on bombs and I try to buy a bomb. I'm already full on arrows and I try to buy an arrow. I think that's it, right? Would just be bombs, arrows, and hearts. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, so these are here. And then if I can't test it with the arrow because I didn't give myself a bow, but if I use a bomb, I should now be able to pick this bomb up. Yep. Pretty cool. What else? you could technically purchase a warp, right? So like, oops. And then just put, you know, a heart here. And then link from that to the warp. We're talking about linking to Scout in order to spawn in the whole store. Not sure how I would make that happen. Yeah, I guess it's not super necessary. Especially since you can spawn in the stuff on the carpet. I don't think spawning in the store is that important. Yeah, maybe we could think of something cool when you link to Scout. We'll discuss. There might be some cool stuff we could do. Pay 100 to activate warp. Yeah, pretty neat. Yeah, it's really cool because then you can, you know, do a bunch of them, right? You can have like, you know, come back later and you pay 500 to activate another warp. Whoops. What happened there? That was weird. Did it delete that when I put down a heart? Or am I crazy? Oh, I only placed one warp. Okay, yep, you're right. It's getting late. So yeah, you could have a bunch of warps, you know, that you need to buy throughout the dungeon. And you know, these don't have to be hearts. We talked about having chests on here as something, so you could have just like a chest linked to the warp. That way there isn't an item hanging out. But this is kind of nice. It's like, oh, I can also come back and restore some health if I want to. An interesting way to do branching paths if you only give the player so much gold. Yeah, for sure. And then let them come back later and choose another path. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. Excited to see what people make of this. I think once this is ready and we push this to the game, we'll do a creator challenge around creating a dungeon with a shop in it. So that'll be fun. Yet another pick a path maker, yeah. We just love enabling the trolls, you know? Let's see, what else can we test here? That's kind of weird. Spends 15 minutes gathering 1,000 gold to buy a one-way teleport into a room full of warthogs. Yeah, that would be a good troll, to be fair. Okay, it didn't affect anything. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, let's make sure undo redo works. Seems good. Hey, Triforce Comet, what's going on? Shop is exciting. Yes, it is. Very exciting. It's working pretty great. So what's kind of interesting about this is that the items you put down inherit the links, which... Oh, never mind. I thought it did for some reason. Okay. Ignore me. Bow is $1. Arrows are 1,000. That's actually hilarious. I love that. Lots of level design possibilities. Yeah, for sure. We played around with a bunch of cool things. We did a mini game where you had to defeat so many slimes to earn gold to like get rewards and stuff. Shop is really cool. I'm excited for what it's going to add. Hope you've been doing well, Triforce. Hope your Splatoon streams are going good. My first thought is putting a shop at an RPG-style level to simulate level up. May or may not be making an RPG-style level. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Like, have every enemy drop gold, but have the gold act like EXP. That's kind of cool. Been doing fantastic. They really have been. Good, good. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. You can have, you know, a bunch of slimes, and they give you like, you know, 10 gold. And then have like a, you know, Lizark, he's a little tougher, he's gonna give you 25. Can there be multiple shops? Yes. As of right now, and as of right now, we're allowing you to put multiple shops in the same room, but we're still talking about that. That'll be nice when we get in items for things like plus damage. Yeah, for sure. It's just weird since he's a unique NPC. Yeah, yeah. I'm caught up on that. Yeah, I get it. We can just, you know, say that he's a, those are Scouts clones. Money checks are a really convenient collectathon level gate. Yeah, for sure. A lot of potential here with the shop. It's really cool. Yeah, multiple rooms for sure. We're okay with. We're just still kind of debating having more than one in the same room. But I did a thing where the prices drop in each room because he's trying to get you to buy. That's pretty funny. Like in the next room, he's like, okay, okay. Discount time. Or he's like, Steam Winter Sale. That's great. I love when games do that. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else to test. I know there's more to test. Like, we need to test, like, moving him around and stuff. Although I know that's not fully implemented yet. Having an item a few gold away from being able to be purchased is a funny idea. Yeah, it's even better because when you actually beat the dungeon, it shows you the total amount of gold. So that's like the ultimate troll, you know? Doesn't like moving in certain ways right now. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. What else? I'll stick just the right amount of gold in a random, inaccessible spot. Really make them want it. Yeah, nice. Just have like an empty room they can't go in that's got like 2 gold in it, you know? Oops. and then you put like 498 gold in the dungeon, and then you're like, yeah, this item is 500 gold. Go get it. Good luck. It's a good troll. So he's a 2x3 tile with 3 purchase available. Yep. He's 2x3, except these 2 squares are open, so you can put stuff here. So those are open squares. But yeah, he's 2x3. Sounds really intuitive. Yeah, thanks. Thomas put a lot of really hard work into this over this last week. I'm really excited for where it's at. You don't need to worry about there not being enough slots because, again, there can be multiple. Yeah, exactly. Can you purchase something with both players if you do a frame perfect press? Let's try it. So that was the next thing I was just thinking. It's like multiplayer. Let's test that out. Oh yeah, and the bubbles kind of overlap. I guess I've just never noticed that. Okay. I don't think so, because it should process each press sequentially. Yeah. Okay. Seems good. Nice. Yeah, this would be kind of funny for multiplayer when you have separate inventories and people are kind of rushing to buy stuff. Do we separate? Yeah, we separate out gold for separate inventories, right? Yeah, so you could actually soft lock if you don't give a player enough gold if you have separate inventories. Because you can make something not purchasable. Whoops. We need a drop gold option. Yeah. You could totally make it so you have to figure out which player needs which inventory. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is finally the perfect example of we do need a drop gold drop items feature. Yeah, the cow level. Yeah, of course. The gold dupe glitch. I'm Wirt. And this is my store. It's not working. It's worth a shot. Scout with a peg leg, yeah. The themes are castle, forest, etc., cow. I'm excited for the cow theme. We're gonna milk it for all it's worth. Boo! Boo, they say. Boo this man. Hey. You can move the gold onto the thing because the swap items ignore some requirements. Yeah, I got you. I think I remember reading that in your list. If you glitch the gold onto the tile, you should be able to buy the gold. Ooh. Moo. Moo. That's kind of interesting. It's like over here. I'd like to purchase this gold for some gold, please. Yeah. It looks like it still works. It's just over here. Huh. In a way, yeah. So what happens if I, like... Oh, okay. So the purchase tile is just movable now. Alright. Remote shop. Do you think we should actually have a purchase tile as like a separate thing? Just like on its own? Nah, I kind of like it being associated with Scout. You were thinking that? Yeah. Okay, well, we can discuss it. Could be neat to have like a variant of Scout. Like you click on them and it's just like the purchase tile. Or something. The block you need to spend gold to unlock. Yeah, that's cool. Scout didn't clap. It's a fascinating glitch, yeah. Can you try moving gold onto an empty purchasable? Like here, you mean? Moving gold or placing? Looks like it swaps. So that's good. Something you were having issues with? Okay. Huh. He lost his connection to the purchasable. Yeah. Weird. And now it's just gone, I guess. I don't know what I did. Yeah, still some bugs, as expected. Mostly known bugs, too, which is good. Just release it as is? No! Yeah, pretty exciting. This is so awesome to have just working in the game. Yay, I feel bad for sitting on it, but the collective object idea was the missing piece. Yeah, that was a good idea for the new classification. Once that thought was there, a lot of it fell into place. Nice. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to test with multiplayer, other than just picking stuff up. Yeah. What else? I want to make sure I get in enough testing for you. I feel like we've tried a little bit of everything. Okay. That's good. It passes the pit test. Just making sure it's not doing anything weird with the layering here. Should try putting them under scout too here. Okay, cool. Oh, that's funny. Put a wall behind scout. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know what's going on. Let's start from scratch here. So we already knew there's something weird with the walls in this. Well, there we go. Yeah, huh. You can just put a wall behind him. He's just hanging out. He's having fun. Yeah. He's a signpost. Oh, right. That's pretty funny. Oh, wait. What? Does that change when you hit play? Oh. Yeah, so he started out as a signpost. That's how Thomas started working on him. That's hilarious. Yeah, so the sign orients once you hit play. That's good. That's funny. Okay, knowing that, what else is unique about a signpost? I mean, I know you can link to them, and you disabled that, so can't link to them right now. We're going to discuss maybe some things we could do with the linking. I don't think there's anything else really weird about signposts. Can you link from him? No? Okay, good. I guess if you have stuff behind him, that's a little awkward. Curious how linking will affect him. You guys generally make it very intuitive and helpful. Thanks. Yeah, I think you might have jumped in a little bit after we showed that off, but pretty cool. You can link from anything on the carpet to other things. So like if you want to make it so that you buy a pushable block, you can do that by like buying something on the carpet and having it appear once you make the purchase. So some cool stuff. If you could link from him, it would fire when you walked away from him and the text hides. Yeah. Yeah, so like, yeah, if you want to make it so like this block appears, you just put something down for sale. Link right to it. You can also link to other for sellable stuff. So like if I want to make this key appear, once I buy this, I can do that. You guys are awesome. It's all Thomas. Because of the signpost code. Yeah, so you can, you know, have the other stuff appear once you do that. Or, you know, you can have that stuff appear for sale when you, like, solve a puzzle or whatever you want. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff that can happen with this. And then we talked about doing, yeah, progressive power-ups, exactly. We talked about the spawner, being able to enable and disable the spawner on here. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be coming for this. Really exciting. Keeping you from jumping levels, yeah. Yeah, that way you don't have to figure out some crazy gold shenanigans. You can just make it so it won't appear until you do something. Wish you could make him say something for each sale. Yeah, that could be. Try to keep this in the game ASAP. I want to see how people use it. Yeah, really exciting. Yeah, like I said, I think we'll do another creator challenge and we'll have it be around the shop. So we'll have a really cool update, really hype up the shop and get some dungeons out there. Could link a signpost from each sale to make it pop up on screen. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. Lots of potential. It's exciting. Should get your RPG level fleshed out soon. Nice. I look forward to it. It's going to be good. Yeah, power-ups are probably something we should start to tackle pretty soon. I think those are going to be... shouldn't be too hard to implement, right? It's just like add +1 damage, stuff like that. So I'll start getting those cards kind of fleshed out too. It'll be fun. Shop is looking really good. I'm trying to think what else we need to test here, but I think that's pretty good for today. Unless anyone has any suggestions, I think we'll wrap up. So, yeah, we'll have more on the shop as we work on it, and you know, maybe next week we'll show off any progress that we've made, and hopefully in the next few weeks here we'll actually get it pushed out and people can play around with it. So, gonna be honest, I had no idea how you guys were gonna pull off a shop, but this is gonna be great. Awesome, glad to hear that. Thanks, Triforce, appreciate it. Cool. Well, thanks all. I'm gonna go ahead and play us out here with the trailer, unless there's anyone that we know streaming. Let me see. Nope. Okay. So yeah, GG. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your weekend. If you're new here or if you're watching on YouTube, we stream generally on Fridays. Today was an exception, but usually Fridays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. We have a Discord channel, which is linked down below, and it should be linked in the YouTube link now as well. And that's kind of where we chat, and we have a community building, so feel free to join us. We'd love to have you there. Yeah, you can buy Super Dungeon Designer right now. It's in early access on Steam, $14.99. There's a link down below to check that out. And we'll be coming to Nintendo Switch in a full launch much later this year. So, exciting stuff. Thanks all. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. We will see ya next time. And thanks to everyone who swung by. Triforce, Thomas, Sanjay, Kitty, everyone else. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend.